The multiverse has known war. It has seen gods rise and fall, timelines collapse and rebuild, and abstract entities wrestle for control over the very meaning of reality. But what happens when war itself transcends space, time, fiction, and logic? What happens when 8 of the most powerful beings in all of narrative existence face off, not just to win, but to prove which concept dominates, chaos or control, adaptation or authorship, transcendence or finality? This is not just a clash of titans. This is the 4v4 Multiverse War. SCP, Transcendental, the one above all, Pre-Retcon Beyonder, and the enigmatic Transrealist White Light stand on one side. On the other, the universe-bending powerhouses, Astral Regulator Thanos, Void Emperor, Elaine Belloc, and White Phoenix. This battle unfolds beyond understanding, beyond the fabric of reality. It's not fought on a planet, not in a galaxy, not even in a universe. It takes place in a metaphysical realm, where concepts take form, and ideas are sharper than blades. These aren't just characters anymore. They are philosophies with fists, ideologies in motion. Let's understand what each side brings to this transcendental war before witnessing the unimaginable. Team Transcendence, where fiction breaks down. SCP, Transrealist, the anomaly from the SCP Foundation, represents the breakdown of fiction itself. Originally, a human named Sam Howell, Transrealist became aware of the fact that he was merely a character in a story. This realization fractured his mind and pushed him to continuously adapt and climb through layers of reality, eventually reaching a point where he could transcend entire narrative structures. He is ever evolving, always rewriting his own limitations, and exists in a state of unstable, unstoppable narrative dominance. Beside him stands the one above all, the supreme creator of the Marvel multiverse. TOAA is not just a being of infinite power, but the embodiment of love, compassion, and narrative completeness. His presence alone warps the foundation of any world he enters. He is not a fighter. He's the canvas on which the entire battle is painted. Then there, Pre-Retcon Beyonder, a version so absurdly powerful that he existed outside the Marvel multiverse altogether. Before being rewritten, Beyonder was the embodiment of chaos, capable of treating multiverses like toys. His curiosity about lesser beings made him both dangerous and unpredictable. He does TOAA laws, he rewrites them. And finally, there's the most mysterious member of Team Transcendence, the Transrealist White Light. This isn't a character from any universe, but a concept representing pure consciousness, non-duality, and philosophical transcendence. The white light is beyond matter, beyond gods, beyond fiction. It is an awareness that can dissolve the multiverse not with violence, but with stillness. A presence so complete, it renders conflict meaningless. Together, these 4 form a coalition of adaptation, abstraction, and narrative autonomy. Their power isn't just destructive, it's evolutionary. They do not fight to dominate, they exist to rewrite the rules by which reality operates. Team Control, the architects of finality. On the other side of the battlefield stand the gods of control, authorship, and entropy. The first is Astral Regulator Thanos, a version of the Mad Titan, who absorbed the astral regulators and became one with the very balance of the Marvel multiverse. Thanos is not the same being who loved death or collected infinity stones. He is an embodiment of universal order. With the regulator's power, he can erase not just timelines, but the fundamental concepts that define them. He destroy, he corrects. Next is the Void Emperor, a fan-created cosmic anomaly, often associated with godlike anime characters who have consumed reality itself. This being does exist within a universe. He exists because the universe no longer does. Made of negative energy and driven by pure consumption, Void Emperor is entropy incarnate, a walking black hole of meaning and matter. Then comes Elaine Belloc, the successor to the presence in the DC universe. Elaine holds not just the power to create worlds, but to define the structure of divine hierarchy itself. She is more than a goddess, she is the storyteller within the story. Her pen is not symbolic, it is literal. She crafts truth with every breath, shaping all existence with intention, wisdom, and care. And finally, we meet White Phoenix. This is Jean Grey in her ultimate cosmic form, fully unified with the Phoenix Force, not as a destroyer, but as a being of harmony and rebirth. She is no longer a weapon of rage, but a flame of enlightenment. With the power to bend and rebuild reality across the multiverse, White Phoenix does conquer, she heals. Her fire burns not for dominance, but for universal balance. Together, Team Control represents authority, destiny, and final say. They are the laws, the rules, the syntax of the multiverse. They bend to reality, reality bends to them. The unfolding of a non-linear battle, as the multiverse cracks open under the weight of such presence. The battlefield becomes a place not defined by space or time, but by narrative structure. Layers collapse. Viewers become participants. Cause and effect invert. SCP-3212 begins by unraveling the local fiction. He peels back the page, folding metaphysical constructs like origami. White Phoenix responds instantly. Her white flames sing through the void, harmonizing entropy into equilibrium. But 3812 is chaos in cognition, and he adapts, reshaping the story mid-burn. Beyonder toys with entropy, snatching chunks of Void Emperor existence and juggling them across timelines. But Void Emperor does not fall. He adapts in reverse, existing before his own erasure. Thanos watches, patient, and with one thought, removes the concepts of before and after from the battlefield. Elaine Belloc, with her calm divinity, sings reality into alignment. Her voice becomes the law of the realm. TOAA listens, not with ears, but with essence. And then, he harmonizes. Their resonance births a temporary peace, a still point in the storm. And from that stillness, a pulse. The Transrealist White Light activates. It does not attack. It does not defend. It dissolves boundaries. Suddenly, characters lose names. Timelines lose direction. Power becomes irrelevant. The war halts. Each entity begins to see itself in the other. Thanos sees TOAA as compassion within his drive for order. 3812 sees his own fractured awareness in the complexity of Elaine as authorship. Beyonder recognizes the same chaos he once craved, now emanating from the Void Emperor. The white light reveals that all of them are fragments of the same narrative principle, the desire to matter. In this moment, there is no winner, only awareness. Final resolution, the end that never ends. In the final breath of the battle, the narrative collapses into a paradox. Not because someone won, but because the idea of winning itself becomes obsolete. When power is infinite on all sides, victory is no longer about strength. It becomes about meaning. The battlefield disappears. Not in fire or light, but in realization. Each being returns to its domain. SCP-3812 climbing endlessly. TOAA resuming silent creation. Beyonder dissolving into curiosity, and the white light resting in non-duality. On the other side, Thanos retreats to balance, Void Emperor to hunger, Elaine to purpose, and White Phoenix continues to glow, not with fire, but with understanding. But something lingers, a ripple across all layers of existence. Somewhere in the narrative structure, a crack remains. Not damage, but awareness. A trace of the war is embedded deep within the fabric of all stories. It becomes legend, myth, and echo. Writers will feel it in their silence. Readers will sense it between the lines. The moment when fiction recognized itself. When power bent not for domination, but for understanding. The war ends with no explosion, no scream, no throw. It ends with a whisper, a quiet acceptance that the truest power is to create, not to conquer. And in that silence, every being, from gods to viewers, finally understands one thing. What is power, if not the story we believe in? And what is victory, if not the meaning we give it? The battle fades, but the question remains forever.